Alright guys, we're back with some more reaction Andy for the Bazaar. We are on Reddit. Crazy. I'm doing a Reddit review? That is wild. Yes, I am. Because the game is not out yet. What kind of videos am I gonna make if the game's not out yet? You know, it is what it is. Anyway, so I was browsing the Bazaar Reddit and I encountered this. Now again, I have been pretty closely following the development of this game, but like not super closely. Like I haven't been scouting the Discord every week. Maybe like once in a month I would check in the Discord, see if there's any announcement for like the beta coming up or whatever. So I didn't really look at everything. So when I saw this Reddit thread, people are already concerned. And remember, Bazaar is Reynad's new game. So I'm probably going to title this Reynad's video game already under scrutiny. That's a good clickbait title. Anyway, guys, so I wanna dive into this a little bit. So people are already yapping multiple Reddit threads about the ranked system. Okay, is ranked just random non-MMR matchups? And I want to give you my thoughts because I think, a slightly profound thought, not really, but crazy that no comments mentioned it, at least as of like a couple days ago when I saw this Reddit thread, like 2 days ago or something, I saw this. No one was talking about that one, which I think people are missing a big point. So, first I want to say I'm excited, alright? However, it seems I might have set my expectations wrong for the game and for ranked. Is it true that ranked is just random non-MMR matchups? Seen a lot of people mentioning that. This will sound very negative, but again, I want to reiterate. It's more about my expectations being wrong from the start, and not that the game isn't looking to be very well made and fun, but it kind of seems like it's a single player loot box grind game. If ranked is just random matchups without skill matchups, it's kind of just a loot run, and the cosmetics bragging right will only be from your ghost without ever having met a single opponent live, so to speak. And game boards, for example, are they only visible for myself because the opponent will see their own board background, right? Meaning some decorations might be visible, such as sleeves and card art, but some might only be visible to me. Now, I don't give a frick about any cosmetics, right? So I'm not the right person to talk about that. I never care about cosmetics in video games because I played a lot of that one mobile game that I used to play as an esports player, a mobile MOBA, and the company just gave me all the cosmetics. Like we're talking gacha skins that cost like $1,000. They just gave it all for free, so I could make videos about it, right? Because it's advertisement for them. And so I am very desensitized to any cosmetics. It's like nothing, right? Like yeah. So I don't give a freak about the decorations and stuff, but the ranked mode. So as far as I understood, reading some more of these comments, ranked, this guy is summing it up pretty well. Ranked requires tickets to enter. You can't just play it infinitely. You get one free ticket a day for ranked. Okay? As far as I could gather, you play ranked. You can play the normal mode as much as you want. And the ranked mode and the normal mode are identical in terms of gameplay. But ranked gives you rewards. And these rewards are skins, stuff like that. These skins you can then go ahead and trade, right? It's like a Steam marketplace. I'm not sure if you'll be able to sell them for money. Probably not, because that seems like a huge headache for the company. That was a huge headache for Steam, because I remember in the early days of Steam's marketplace, one of my friends had like a Karambit in Counter-Strike, a Fade Karambit, and it was like $80 back then, I know. It was very early days. And I remember he was trying to sell it, and he would have to fill out like some tax form or something. Like at some point, like it becomes very complicated for the... I don't think the Bazaar will do any of that, but you can trade them and stuff. So that's pretty cool, right? So they don't want you to just spam freaking ranked and grind them as much as possible. So then the bots would just take over, and the economy of these items would just go to nothing, right? Is what I'm assuming. So that's why ranked is going to be gated. But there is no difference in ranked in terms of gameplay. Yeah. So you get one free ticket a day, and then you can either buy more tickets, right? You can buy tickets for money, That's a way to monetize it. Or get 10 wins in a non-ranked run to earn a rank ticket. Now, if you guys, since you guys probably watching this, most of you are playing TFT, because that's my main game. It probably sounds wild to you. You have to buy your entry to ranked. What? Sounds crazy, right? Yes, does sound crazy. But I will explain why this might not be that big of a deal, because you should not draw a parallel to TFT. You should draw parallels to other games. And in that context, it will make sense. On average, that means that people are going to be trying their best in ranked because they have had to stake something, true, and they probably want rewards, true. If you get a high rank, it does mean that you're good at the game. Random matchups does not mean easy matchups, false. But anyway, I'll explain why. What taking MMR out of the equation does is take you off the treadmill from hell, where no matter how much you improve at a game, you always win or average about 50% of your games. Being good at the game should mean winning more games, not winning the exact same amount of games, just against better opponents. Before I give my thoughts, I want to read some more because some people are making some good some good comments here. Some good comments. Trying their best in rank does not mean they will be good. Absolutely, they could be trash lords. If you get a high rank, it does mean that you're good at the game. So, just to interject real quick for the people who have no clue about Bazaar, I want to make sure we're on the same picture here. The Bazaar will be a game where it's like a battle royale, meaning the better you do, the longer the game goes. So the worse you do, the faster you will die. You will still have some base thing. It will not be like TFT where if you do nothing, you will die really fast. But you will have a lot of PvE fights, right? But the PvP fights, if you lose every single one of them, you will die, let's say, here. The good players, that's what the first comment means, or is talking about, they will build a better board and they will survive longer. So now you kind of are stuck against some good players that know how to build a board. However, there's a huge difference between someone knowing how to build a board and someone being like challenger tier, right? If you're challenger tier, you're going to obliterate all the normies. Even if they played like 200 hours, if you're like insanely cracked, if you're one of the best players at each given game, you will obliterate all the normies, okay? And even at the very last, if you have a perfect run, and at the very last fight, you fight somebody else with a perfect run right now, right? That's how the game works. You fight somebody with the perfect run. You will obliterate them if you are extremely, like if the skill difference is huge, right? So that's why this is exactly, does not mean they will be good. Exactly right. If you get a high rank, it does mean that you're good at the game, yes. Or just that you're above average and have played a lot. Yes, true, true. What taking MMR out of the equation does, remove the competitive aspect of the game and the challenge of facing your equals. Not equals, equals. Yes, you will not be running up against, you can have a challenger player, let's say at 3 wins, you can have a challenger tier player go up against the silver scrub that also happened to get 3 wins because maybe they just went for a very strong early game strategy. And then they will just fall off, right? And you will obliterate them probably with your better just challenger brain, right? So being good at the game should mean winning more games, not winning the exact same amount of games. In what game do they measure who is the best by winning count? LOL, chess, whatever. That's the most asinine idea I've ever heard. This guy is very mad. See, that's what I'm saying. The game of Reynad is under scrutiny. It is. Some of these people are really mad because they're expecting the wrong thing from this. They're expecting TFT. This is not TFT. This is not supposed to be a PvP game even. It is a PvP game. Don't get me wrong. But I would rather see this as a roguelike, right? I'm seeing this as a, if you are playing Balatro and you're extremely good at Balatro, right? You can go into a gold stake game of Balatro, which is the highest difficulty, and you will win every single time with every single deck. Maybe you will have like a 10% loss chance because you're just really good, because the enemy is always the same strength. It's a very difficult enemy, right? You have to get a lot of high chip number. That's the poker roguelike if you've never heard of it. But it's not PvP. Now, in this game, it will be PvP. Again, you will be facing ghosts, but it's not supposed to be a competitive game, and that's fine. You just have to have the right expectation. Just like the first post says, right? He had the wrong expectation and he's adjusting it. Now, the reason why both people are right? This guy is just trying to have fun. This guy just wants to have fun at the game, right? He wants to get rewarded for being good if he puts a lot of time into it, and he doesn't want to be in elo hell, in losers queue, in Riot Games where it seems like you queue up League of Legends, you're guaranteed to have a 50% win rate, right? If you're at, like, they put you in losers queue sometimes, you feel like, and maybe they do have hidden algorithms that are like, brother man, this guy's winning 3 games in a row, we gotta give him a loss, we gotta get that, because we gotta make other people win, so everyone is happy a little bit, right? So I get why they're saying that. Now, what's really gonna cement this point is this next comment. Hearthstone Arena worked the same way and it wasn't an issue there. The deeper you are in a run, the better players on average you're going to face. And that's exactly right. So this is the biggest thing, right? This is way closer. The way you buy in your entry is not a rank game in TFT. It's a Hearthstone Arena game. You go into Arena and you can get rewards. In TFT, you get nothing. You get absolutely nothing. You don't get any rewards for playing. You get rewards as in you fill your battle pass. You get rewards from that. You get rewards as in you get LP. But you do not get cosmetics for playing the ranked mode in TFT. You get them from the battle pass, not from the ranked mode itself, right? Not as a reward for winning ranked. So Hearthstone Arena is the comparison here. Magic the Gathering, Arena, draft, when you buy in, you have to buy into the draft mode, right? Because you get packs, you get to keep the cards, right? In Hearthstone Arena, you can win an entire pack and gain your entire gold worth back of entering the arena, and even more, I think. So you can go infinite if you're really good at these games. And you will be able to go infinite in Bazaar. They call that this way. Going infinite in Hearthstone Arena means you do not have to put in money to keep playing. You just are so good that you keep winning enough that you can just buy your next entry with the winnings. Okay? Now, again, if they chose, I have no opinion on the cosmetics. I have no opinion on how they chose to design their ranked mode. I would probably, if I made the game, the Bazaar, I would make a sweaty ranked mode where you can actually play ranked, because Backpack Battles is very similar in terms of how the ranking could be structured, right? Because you pick a class in Backpack Battles, you can pick a character in Bazaar, and then you go into a game, and then you build your backpack in Backpack Battles, you build your board in the Bazaar, you build your hero basically with the skills, with the items. And you could easily, obviously, if you're losing, you face players that are losing, right? In the Bazaar, so you will have easier matchups. Same thing in Backpack Battles. If you lose like 3 fights in a row, you'll fight some really trash board, but you still fight that trash board in the same rank as you. So they could have done that in the Bazaar, and not sure why they didn't. Maybe they do want to do that in the future. Maybe they do want to just keep it casual. I probably wouldn't name the mode here ranked, because it does seem off-putting to a beginner or to a person that hasn't heard of the game much yet, to hear that ranked requires tickets that you need to buy with actual money, or you just get one for free a day, or you can get them by playing, by winning in ranked, or you can also get them by winning in normal games. So you can technically farm them as well. Keep that in mind. So it's not just that. It's basically pay for convenience. But anyway, but yeah, they locked the cosmetics behind that. And if you lock the cosmetics behind that, you definitely can't have bots just farming them. So here, this comment was very good. Not the best example. Only 4% of Hearthstone players play at least one arena game per year. 96% play exclusively MMR-based modes. and the leakage of players from Arena is big and a well-known issue. Let's click on more replies here. I was not aware of this, blah blah blah. In the first 2 to 3 years, Arena was popular and then it's dying. And why is it dying? Well, it's dying. Strong players have a huge win rate due to wins versus casual players. So it is not surprising that casual players mostly stop playing Arena. Now the casual players have not a single chance to win at least 4 to 5 times in Arena. Yes, absolutely. I agree with this. And some people are pointing out that if you don't have MMR-based matchmaking, you will basically run up against, you will have beginners running up against pro players, and then the beginners will just quit. And someone was even citing a study by Call of Duty or something that basically is talking about that. And all of these things make sense, absolutely. However, again, remember this. This is something that no one in this thread mentioned as of 2 days ago when I was reading this thread. And I think it's a very obvious thing that people are just missing. I agree with Hearthstone Arena. I played Hearthstone when it first came out, and like very early beta. And I was really pissed about one thing immediately, about the arena. Because I would farm 150 gold, I would enter the arena, and the arena was my favorite mode. Because I don't like making a deck, already having it, and queuing up with it. I get bored, right? I know exactly what I have, I get bored. I want to craft something, and then have my little battles, and then craft something new again. So arena was perfect. So the problem was, I would go into arena, but I was trash. I would watch Crip play arena a lot, and I would try to get better, but I was still trash. I was like 14. I was trash, right? So I would always lose. And then I would have to farm for arena again. And I was like, man, I don't even care about the freaking packs I'm getting from arena. I just want to play arena. It's the most fun mode. That's the difference, guys. In Bazaar, you can do that. In Bazaar, you don't need to play ranked. You can just play the normal mode. You can just play the normal mode. You can get better at that mode by playing just the normal mode of Bazaar, and then you can take it to ranked. You can farm your freaking rank tickets, probably. I don't know how many you can stack up, but I'm sure you can stack them up to a certain extent and get better at the game first and then go into it. That's why I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as much of an issue as it was for Hearthstone Arena, as this gentleman is pointing out. And that is a huge issue. That is a huge issue. Hearthstone Arena is such a fun mode, but they just basically let it die, as far as I can tell from at least this comment. I'm not gonna check any sources. He's not citing any sources, but he's saying that. You know, I'm sure he's right, but I can see why. It all makes sense logically. You queue up arena. People are playing Hearthstone for 5 years now. They're insane at arena. They one-tricked arena. They will obliterate you every time. The only people left in the queue are just people that play arena all day. So even at 0 wins, even though you're fighting people with 0 wins, you will just get obliterated as a beginner. So now you have no way of training arena and getting better at it. So you will never be able to beat them. So you will never play arena. So you'll just quit Hearthstone like me if you don't like the constructed game modes, where you construct your deck prior to entering the queue, right? And with Bazaar, you will be able to just do that. You'll be able to play the normal mode. Now, I do still think they need some MMR system because you still want to kind of fight the same enemies. But I do understand that it can be very frustrating to because what these games evolve into, I know it from backpack battles, right? Backpack battles, you go in and you have this matchmaking based or MMR based matchmaking, and basically you go up against someone, and at some point you just find people that are hard forcing the most broken builds. You're trying to build something fun, something that makes sense in your mind, but then you just realize, oh, but the game is just not perfectly balanced, so someone who's running this certain build is always going to beat me, like the Excalibur builds in Backpack Battles right now. And you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, frick, right? Now, from what I heard, is the Bazaar is putting a lot of effort into making it so you can't hard force any builds. So you can't just go in with a build that you want to go for in mind already. You have to be very flexible and adjust to the choices you're given, which is very cool. But what does that mean? If two people are very good at the game and they are going to face off, or you're going to only face off against people that are very good at the game, again, the game will never be balanced. These games can never be balanced. TFT will never be balanced. Hearthstone will never be balanced. Anything with RNG involvement and with a lot of factors, right? There's hundreds of items in the Bazaar. It cannot be perfectly balanced. There's always going to be the best build because it's an auto battler. You cannot dodge enemy skill shots. You cannot outplay them. You cannot outplay bad matchups. You cannot do anything. It's not a MOBA where you can just dodge stuff. So basically, you will always, there will always be just percentage-wise a slightly better build than all the other builds, or a couple slightly better builds. Now, if they're saying they put a lot of effort into you not being able to hard force that, now what happens? If you're playing against noobs, or if you're very good at the game and you are playing against people that are considerably worse, you can just make use of the things you're given in the most optimal way because you're a good player, and you can win with that. And that's really satisfying, right? That is very satisfying. That's what makes the game fun. But if you are playing against equal skilled people and you just go in, right, in something like Hearthstone Arena or the Bazaar, and you just keep getting things that, you know, you're making it work, you're playing well, you're playing maybe even optimally, but the things you're given are just not S tier items. They're not part of the S tier best build in the game. And then you just keep facing people that have this S tier build because your enemies know exactly, because they're just as good as you in terms of, because of the matchmaking based, MMR based matchmaking. They will know, they will also be able to identify these best items, this best build, and they will just clap you. So then it becomes just an RNG fest. It becomes a huge RNG fest, and that is probably what I would assume is what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to reward good players with lots of fun. They're still giving beginners a mode where they can get better. And, hopefully join that ranked mode again as well at the end. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I was just rambling. I just wanted to make that point with Hearthstone Arena. This guy, the Hearthstone Arena thing, right? The biggest difference is that you can't play normal games in Hearthstone Arena. There's only Hearthstone Arena. You have to pay to enter it. You cannot play the same game mode without paying, right? Do you understand? That is the biggest difference. So I think this could work. Some people also mention, again, I've never played Magic the Gathering drafts in their online game, so I have no clue how it is there, but some people said that they have MMR there, and the best players facing off against each other in this draft mode where you build your deck, basically. And from what I could gather from these Reddit comments is that these players complain about not being able to just consistently win all the way in that game mode, because again, like, some people just high roll some broken cards and then you just lose, and then you don't get the good cards. You have to get like a really insane build to go all the way, even if you are one of the best players. Yeah, these are my thoughts. I was rambling probably way too long here, man. Let me know what you guys think. I could be completely wrong. This could be completely wasted. I'm going to keep it a buck because I don't know much about any of these things, right? I don't know much about how the rank system will work. I just read this thread and I thought I would make a little video because I feel like no one was mentioning that we can't just draw a straight 100% parallel to Hearthstone Arena, because it's going to be very different, because again, we have the option of practicing for free in the standard mode. Would I still like matchmaking? To a certain extent, maybe, right? Because just the matchmaking or the MMR system of you're at 10 wins, enemy is at 10 wins, or you're at 7 wins and 2 losses, enemy is at 7 wins and 2 losses, and you fight each other. Again, the quality of these two players can be very different. Because I remember high rolling in Hearthstone Arena, I was the biggest freaking idiot. but I high rolled like 8 fireballs, and I would just win all the way, you know? That doesn't mean I can't get beaten by someone that high rolled slightly less, but is like a top tier pro player at the game, right? Let me know, guys, what do you think? I think this was too long. I'm kind of sweating. I don't really do these reactions. This is why, because I yap too long, guys. I'll keep it a stack, guys. Hope you enjoyed.